Meet Dr. Howard Tucker, who is the oldest living doctor on this planet Earth. He has a world record in Guinness Book of World Record. He's more than 100 years of age right now, but still working 3 days a week as part-time job. I think he's very blessed and happy because he's working at the age of 100 plus as well, not because of money, mainly because of medical profession has been his passion. People like you and me, if we have accumulated the right amount of wealth, then we can also pursue our passions. It's not about retirement, it's about getting financial freedom. In this video, I'm going to talk about why, how, and what can give us 5 crore rupees by the age 50. I'm also going to talk about the capital gain tax. So we are talking about 5 crores in hand after capital gain tax. It's going to be super interesting video and I'm absolutely sure that you're going to love this video. Without wasting any more time, let's dip in. The very first question is why 5 crore rupees, right? So let's have a look at the screen here and look at the sum of the calculations. So fast forward, let us assume you're already 50 years of age and you have 5 crores with you. The very first thing you can do at the age of 50 is that you invest this 5 crore rupees, and let us assume that you invest in a scheme or a fixed deposit which is giving you assured returns, guaranteed 7% returns. That means that every year from now, from the age of 50 onwards, you can earn almost 35 lakh rupees as the income, right? Now let us assume that on this 35 lakh rupees you will have to pay income tax. So I'm assuming that, let's say for simplicity, remove 5 lakhs out of it. That leaves you with 30 lakh rupees of yearly income. That will come out to be 2.5 lakh rupees of income every month, right? Now you will say that actually by the time I hit 50, 2,50,000, the buying power of that 2,50,000 will not be what it is today because of inflation, which is a very, very fair point. So let us do a very quick calculation. So if you look at my screen, you will see that if I assume 5% of inflation rate for the next 20 years, assuming that you are 30 years of age right now. So if you're 30 years of age right now, and by the time you hit 50, in the next 20 years, inflation is, let us say, 5% on an average yearly. This 2,50,000 rupees of monthly income will be actually 94,000 roughly from today's perspective, right? So if somebody were to give me 94,000 rupees of monthly income today, is that sufficient for me or not is a question you need to ask yourself. From personal perspective, my perspective, it is a good enough money for me to be able to live my life happily without having to worry about money, right? So with this, we know that 5 crore rupees by the age of 50 can give me a comfortable life after my age of 50, right? Now the next important question comes is, how do we get to 5 crores? I'm going to talk about 3 great options in terms of how to build the corpus of 5 crores by the age of 50. So far, if you're liking this video, please press the like button. It will mean a lot to me. Now the important question of what are the options for us to get to 5 crores by the age of 50. So option number 1 is, let us assume that you are at the age of 30 right now, which is great that you have time on your side, right? Have a look at this calculation simply here. If at the age of 30, you start investing 50,000 rupees every month in a specific mutual fund allocation that I'm going to talk about further in this video, 50,000 rupees, and even if you're able to get 12%, which is very, very much doable on a 20 years of horizon, risk is very limited here. For 20 years, you are going to get almost 5 crore rupees. We will talk about capital gain taxes. Do not worry about it just yet. And you are going to invest 1 crore 20 lakh rupees in this 20 years of time, right? So this is if you are at the age of 30. What about that you're not at the age of 30? So let me do another calculation and show you that if you are at the age of 35, this is where you will have to invest 1 lakh rupee every month, keeping everything else exactly same that we just did in previous example. So 12% returns. But since you're starting your investment at the age of 35, now you will have to pay 1 lakh rupees of EMI at 12% returns because your investment horizon is now only 15 years. And more importantly, you will end up investing 1.8 crores versus 1.2 crores that we saw in the previous example. So by simply starting investing 5 years early, you are able to bring down your SIPs by 50,000 rupees, almost 50%. That is the power of compounding, and we should always remember this. If you have not started investing yesterday, today is the next best possible time for you to start investing. The third option that I want to talk about is that, let us say that you are 30 years of age and you tell me that, Rahul, 50,000 rupees is a lot of money. I can't afford to invest that much of money from my savings. Fair enough. The very good option, that is what I call option 3 right now, is you start doing step up SIPs. So if you look at that, 36,000 rupees every month if you start doing SIP for the next 20 years. But if you step up or if you increase that 36,000 every year merely by 6%, and that is very much doable because all of us will have our income or our business income or salaries going up at least by 6 to 8%, right? So we should put that increment as well into our SIPs. So if I assume 6% increment from 36,000 every month, we are still going to get to 5 crores. But please note, in this example, in this scenario, you are going to invest 1.58 crore rupees. It is more than what we talked about when you were doing flat SIPs of 50,000 rupees, right? So third option is you do 36,000 and increase it by 6%. If I show you an example, first year you will do 36,000 rupees per month. Next year you will do 38,000 and so on. You will see that in this example, when you hit 17, 18, 19, 20 of age or years, your EMIs are going to go very high, right? But I'm hoping that by the end of 47, 48, 49, 50th year, your salary or your business income would have gone up into the same level, and also inflation would have helped you to make sure that you can still continue doing your SIP for the next 20 years. Now comes the biggest question of how do we sensibly allocate this 50,000 rupees every month into the right investment plans to get to 5 crore rupees. Let's go for it now. Let us now understand how we will allocate this 50,000 rupees of every month SIP into various investment plans. What you see on my screen is 3 options there. Okay. So if you're doing 50,000 SIP, 1 lakh SIP or 36,000 of step up SIP, in both these 3 options, how are we going to allocate this money? The first thing we need to do is invest in NPS, which is a government scheme. Okay. NPS scheme E for equity. 50% of the money going into that. I will talk about the rationale of why 50% in NPS and why 50% in the mutual funds. I'll talk about that in a few minutes, but let's just go through this first. NPS 50% and then mutual funds 50%. Now, if you look at NPS 50%, it will be 50,000 monthly, will go to 25,000 here, 50,000 and likewise 18,000. Then we go to the mutual fund category, and first thing is ELSS mutual fund. If you're in old tax regime, you must invest in ELSS mutual funds to take the tax advantage. Up to 1.5 lakh rupees of your income will be totally tax free. It's a lot of tax saving that you will do. And for that, you will have to invest 12,500 rupees every month, right? That will come out to be 1,50,000 every year. Now, if you're in a new tax regime and you do not want to take advantage of ELSS mutual fund scheme because of the taxation reasons, then the other option for you is to go ahead with a large cap index fund or ETF. There are enough good videos I have created around both ELSS. So there is a full video on best ELSS mutual funds on my channel. Likewise, there is also an index fund video on my channel that will tell you index fund that you can select from that perspective and invest 12,500 rupees in that, right? Now, ELSS mutual funds otherwise anyways invest 60%, almost 60% of their money into the large cap index funds. So there is good balance here. Moving on, the second category of mutual fund that I would like you to invest your money is in flexi cap mutual funds. Flexi cap mutual funds, very quickly in the last 2 years or last 2.5 years, SEBI started this new category. And the beauty of this mutual fund category is that your fund manager can move your funds from small to mid to large cap as long as the total concentration remains up to 65% in equity. So if the market conditions are conducive for the small cap stocks, then your fund manager can move your money to small cap stocks. If it is conducive for the large cap funds, he can move it to large cap mutual funds. So it gives a lot of flexibility to your mutual fund manager. And you won't believe, if you look at the data here, you will see that in year 2022, because of the uncertain environment right now we are going through, flexi cap mutual fund category attracted the highest investment in terms of the mutual fund category. You can look at here, flexi cap is the number 1 mutual fund category. You never know, in the next 20 years, the market conditions might be bad, they might be good. We might hit a great depression, we don't know, and it might last for 5 years. Therefore, at least your mutual fund manager will have the flexibility to act according to the market condition. Therefore, you must have flexi cap mutual funds in your portfolio. Moving on, the next one is mid-cap mutual fund category. Now, mid-cap mutual fund gives you a lot of growth. They are more riskier than the large cap mutual funds, but they give you a lot of growth, so your returns are likely to be higher. The reason I've not gone with small cap mutual funds is because they are most volatile. And I do not want you to see a lot of negativity in your portfolio, because you might run away from mutual funds and totally stop moving investments and totally exit from mutual funds categories. I do not want you to do that. And this money you want almost assured as much as possible. So therefore, mid-cap mutual fund category will give you the necessary growth, but at the same time, it will not create panic and ups and downs in your portfolio. It will be less panic versus small cap mutual funds. So that's why mid-cap mutual fund is one category that you should consider investing. I have not yet created any videos on mid-cap mutual funds. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to analyze more than 40-50 mid-cap mutual funds and give you the top 3 recommendations from my perspective. Happy to shoot that. Let me know in the comments, please. And last category is the US mutual funds. Please make sure you do diversification as well in mutual funds. It's very, very important. Therefore, I've allocated some money for US mutual funds. So if I summarize this, NPS 50%, 25,000 rupees in this example, ELSS 12,500 rupees, giving you 1,50,000 rupees of tax advantage. Flexi cap and mid cap getting almost similar allocation, 5,000 each, and US mutual funds getting roughly 2,500 rupees if we talk about 50,000 SIPs. And likewise for 1 lakh, I've given the calculations here, and likewise for 36,000 step up SIP. Of course, the allocation will change every year as you pour in more money in the step up SIP options, right? Now, let us talk about why I'm saying that 50% of your money should be in NPS and 50% in mutual funds. Why not everything in NPS and why not everything in mutual funds? Let's talk about it now. Let us now first talk about the returns of NPS versus mutual funds. By the way, I created a full separate video on this topic. You please go ahead and watch that very, very important video. But now I want to talk about the returns and few other important factors as well. So if you look at option 1 here, I've considered that you are at the age of 30 investing 50,000 rupees of monthly SIPs, and you want to generate 15% returns in the mutual funds. Now in mutual funds, it is more likely that you're likely to get better returns than NPS, primarily because in NPS, the maximum allowed investment even at the age of 30 is 75% of money gets invested in equity, remaining goes into debt, which is going to lower down the returns in NPS. Overall, in mutual funds, you're likely to get better returns. So if I assume 50% return, so if I show you the calculations here, you will see that if you invest 50,000 rupees every month and for 20 years, 15%, you are going to invest 1 crore 20 lakh rupees in the 20 years time, but your capital gain is going to be 6 crore 37 lakh rupees, giving you almost 7 crores 57 lakhs, much higher than the 5 crore amount. But wait, there is a capital gain in case of mutual funds, which is not the case in NPS, right? So we need to do full calculation to be able to understand how much in hand are we going to get, right? So if you come back here and look at, there are 3 possibilities of capital gain tax now, right? So if I go back here, you see 6 crore 37 lakhs is the capital gain you will have if you invest this money and earn 15% interest on that or return on it. If you come back here, that is what I've got here. Capital gain before tax is 6 crores 37 lakh rupees here. Now, if we look at the current capital gain tax conditions, right now on mutual funds that I've talked about, the current long-term capital gain tax is 10% of the capital gain. So in this example, 66 crores 37 lakh will become 5 crore 74 lakhs, and you invested 1 crore 20 lakhs. So your in hand total money here will be 6 crore 94 lakh, which is the best case scenario. But what are the chances that in the next 20 years, government is going to put more tax on capital gain on the equity mutual funds? Take it from me, 20 years from now, you and me will meet again. I will shoot another video and you won't believe the taxes would have gone up by then. It is more and more likely that taxes will go up, right? So at 20%, you're going to get 6 crore 30 lakhs, while at 30%, you're going to get 5 crore 66 lakh, provided you make 15% returns. So you have to beat NPS returns, which are roughly 12%. Let me show it to you in a minute. So if we talk about NPS, there are various schemes in NPS. If you go at NPS website, you will see various schemes. The scheme that I'm referring here for 20 years of investment is scheme E. And if you look at the returns of NPS scheme E here, you will see that in the last 10 years, all of these funds have given almost 12% to 13%. Even the benchmark, if you look at it, 10 years is more than 12%. So I think we can safely assume that 12% return is what NPS is going to give you. If you come back here and calculate that in NPS, you will generate 12%. Therefore, if you do the calculations, there is zero capital gain tax. Whatever capital gain you earn here in case of NPS, there is no tax on this. So you are going to get 5 crore rupees more or less, right? Now, the other question comes is that what is the guarantee of you generating 15% returns in the mutual funds? It is possible, it may not be possible. So let us say a scenario plays out that your mutual fund portfolio only gives you 12% returns, right? In that case, if you do the calculations, your capital gain is likely to be less. I've done these calculations on the calculator. You go ahead and have a look at that. But in summary, you look at this, if you get 12% returns, which is similar to NPS, if you're not able to beat the NPS returns, then you're going to be in loss in all three tax categories versus NPS. So if you look at 10% category, you're going to get 4 crore 61 lakhs, 20% 4 crores 23 lakhs, and 30% tax. You're only going to get 3 crores 85 lakh rupees, which is much less than the 5 crore sum that we talked about, right? So in mutual fund, what is the challenge here is to get higher returns than NPS, more than 12%, 13, 14, 15%. If you know that you're spending a lot of time doing your research, watching good videos, reading good articles that will give you good returns, then you can go ahead for mutual funds. But NPS has important other factor, which is that NPS is a government backed scheme. The chances of any scams here is very low. I hope so, as compared to the private mutual fund companies. Therefore, because of these factors, I've considered that you put 50% money in the NPS and 50% in the mutual funds. Secondly, from a liquidity perspective, mutual fund is a better option, because if you need to withdraw your money for some other emergency purposes, mutual fund gives you that flexibility, except the ELSS category that has a lock-in of 3-year period. But in NPS, there are various rules that you have to go through. Partial withdrawal is possible, but it's not as easy as in the case of mutual funds. So if we summarize, why have we talked about 50-50? Let's look at the returns. Mutual fund is likely to give you more returns if you do good job in terms of smartly investing your money. NPS is going to give you slightly lower returns, but NPS is a government backed scheme. Mutual funds are privately run. Most of them are privately run. So there is always a risk there. And also from a liquidity perspective, you can withdraw your money more or less in mutual funds easily than NPS. Therefore, you don't know what the future will play out for you, right? Rather than putting all your money in mutual funds or in NPS, you are not doing a sensible planning. As per my opinion, you should put 50% in NPS and 50% in mutual fund, so that you get the best of the both worlds. You get higher returns because of mutual funds, and you get more surety and stability from a government backed NPS funds. And also from a liquidity perspective, you've not put everything in NPS, you can still withdraw your money from ELSS mutual funds. So this way you can absolutely build 5 crores in hand by the age of 50. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please press the like button. Follow me for upcoming videos. Also let me know in the comments if you would like me to shoot videos on specific topics. Happy to take maximum comments, read through and answer your comments as well. I'll see you in my upcoming videos. Keep rocking.